Notary Public Practice Test 2026 Notary Public Certification, Full Course Acknowledgement Guide. Question 1. What is an acknowledgement? A thank you note. A formal declaration that a person signed a document voluntarily. An oath that a document is true. A signature on a credit card. An acknowledgement focuses on the identity of the signer and the voluntariness of the act. Question 2. Does the signer need to sign in front of the notary for an acknowledgement? Yes, always. No, they can sign it before and then acknowledge the signature to the notary. Only if the notary is new. Only on Mondays. Unlike a jurat, an acknowledgement does not strictly require the signature to be made in the notary's presence, though the signer must still appear. Question 3. What is the primary purpose of an acknowledgement? To make a document legal. To prevent forgery and ensure the signer knows what they are signing. To collect fees. To help the post office. It ensures the person who signed the document is actually who they say they are and did so of their own free will. Question 4. What verbal question should a notary ask for an acknowledgement? Do you swear this is true? Do you acknowledge that you signed this document voluntarily for its intended purpose? Can I see your ID? Is this your pen? The notary must confirm the signer's intent and identity. Question 5. Which of these documents typically requires an acknowledgement? An affidavit. A deed of trust or mortgage. A sworn statement. A deposition. Real estate documents almost always require acknowledgements. Question 6. What is loose certificate? A certificate that fell off. A separate notary certificate sheet attached to a document. A broken stamp. A blank piece of paper. If a document lacks notary wording, the notary attaches a loose certificate. Question 7. Can a notary choose which act, jurat or acknowledgement, to perform for a client? Yes, they are the expert. No, the client must choose or the document must specify. Only if they are a lawyer. Only if the client pays extra. A notary cannot give legal advice and should not choose the type of act. Question 8. What happens if the acknowledgement date is different from the document date? The notary changes the document date. The notary records the actual date of the notarization. The document is ruined. The notary refuses. The notary certificate must always reflect the actual date the signer appeared before the notary. Question 9. In an acknowledgement, the notary certifies that the signer is a good person, personally appeared and was identified, is telling the truth, that's a jurat, has enough money. The certification covers appearance, identity, and the act of acknowledging the signature. Question 10. What does personally appeared mean? The notary saw them on TV. The signer was in the same room as the notary. The notary talked to them on the phone. The notary saw their picture. Physical presence is the standard meaning of personally appeared. Question 11. Can a notary notarize a document with an acknowledgement if the signer is not present? Yes, if they know them. No, never. Only if it is a family member. Only for a boss. Personal appearance is a non-negotiable requirement for an acknowledgement. Question 12. What is representative capacity in an acknowledgement? The person is a famous actor. The person is signing on behalf of a corporation, trust, or as an attorney in fact. The person is a politician. The person is a sports agent. It means the person is signing for someone else or an entity. Question 13. If a document has acknowledgement wording but the signer wants an oath, what should the notary do? Use the document wording anyway. Use a jurat certificate instead, after the signer chooses. Refuse to do anything. Sign both. The act performed must match the certificate used. Question 14. Is an acknowledgement the same as witnessing a signature? Yes. No, they are distinct acts with different requirements. Only in Texas. Only for wills. They are different acts. Signature witnessing requires the act of signing to be watched. Question 15. What should a notary do if a signer seems forced to sign a document? Notarize quickly. Refuse the notarization. Call the police. Ask the other person to leave. A notary must ensure the signing is voluntary, free act and deed. Question 16. What is venue in an acknowledgement certificate? The party location. The state and county of the notarization. The signer's home. The notary's bank. It identifies where the act took place. Question 17. True or false, a notary can acknowledge a signature that was made 10 years ago. True. False. As long as the signer appears now and acknowledges it as their signature. Question 18. What is the testimonium clause? A type of law. The part of the certificate that begins in witness whereof. A list of witnesses. The notary's name. It is the concluding part of the notary certificate. Question 19. Can a notary notarize an acknowledgement for a person who cannot sign their name? No. Yes, usually by signature by mark. Only if they use a stamp. Only if they use a computer. Signature by mark is a valid way for an illiterate or disabled person to sign. Question 20. What is the most common error in an acknowledgement? Using the wrong pen. Failure to fill in the venue or the date. Using too much ink. Smiling too much. Incomplete certificates are the most common reason for document rejection.